Today, the oldest victim of last weekend's attack at the Tree of Life Synagogue will be laid to rest. The funeral of 97-year-old Rose Mallinger marks the last of the 11 victims and the end of an unimaginable and painful week for Pittsburgh's close-knit Squirrel Hill community. The new Time magazine cover, and I urge you to pick it up, challenges the rest of the country to move beyond hate. We talk about it here every day. The illustration by artist Adele Rodriguez shows the Tree of Life covered in an American flag. And there are 13 fallen stars on the ground, one for each victim of the synagogue attack, and two for the African Americans who were murdered at a Kroger store in Kentucky. There is one star left on the tree, which the artist points out is a sign of hope. Here to weigh in, Princeton University professor, MSNBC contributor, and my friend Eddie Glaude, who wrote a piece for that cover story. Again, I urge you to read it. Eddie, you write in this issue that politicians cannot stop hate. We must change America ourselves. Explain that.
Right. I mean, you know, I think politicians have been exploiting hate and fear ever since politics have come into being. And so it's really left up to us to really imagine a different future for the country. What we see is the violence, Stephanie. This violence is just simply an exaggerated expression of what politicians have been doing for decades. So we have to imagine America differently, and that's going to require us to look the ugliness of who we are squarely in the face.
All right, but hasn't it long been the case that in the face of tragedy, it is our leaders who lift us up?
Well, yes, but in this instance, I think we can't look towards our leaders. I mean, Donald Trump makes Jesse Helms. Remember Jesse Helms in the race against Harvey Gantt in 1990 and how ugly it was? Or George H.W. Bush with Willie Horton? Or Ronald Reagan with the Neshoba County Fair, just 7 miles outside of Philadelphia, where Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner were killed. People have always engaged in dog whistles and racial-coded speech. Donald Trump is just appealing explicitly to the ugliness. Our leaders aren't going to do this. Or they're going to appeal to tone, Stephanie. Tone is not enough. That's just trying to put the genie back in the bottle. It is clear what is lurking underneath our politics. We have to imagine America differently. We have to be different if we're going to actually open up a future for our children and our children's children.
To that point, it's not just imagining it. We can be different every single day by opening our hearts and minds and caring about our neighbors, even those who don't share our views. I want to play a bit of what the president had to say in Missouri last night.
I will tell you, we have gotten tremendous numbers of Republicans are going out to vote. Now, we did have two maniacs stop a momentum that was incredible, because for 7 days, nobody talked about the elections. It stopped a tremendous momentum. More importantly, we have to take care of our people, and we don't care about momentum when it comes to a disgrace like just happened to our country. But it did nevertheless stop a certain momentum, and now the momentum is picking up.
Okay, so we lost 13 people in the most hideous way. There were at least 13 people who received bombs that fortunately did not detonate. Can we really think do you really believe that we can rise up from the bottom locally when our own president going into the midterms?
Yeah, but Stephanie, I have to believe it. It's our only hope. Donald Trump is a narcissist. And a narcissist whose moral capacity has been in so many ways blunted. He can't empathize with suffering outside of his own self, outside of his own concerns. We're our only hope. Mass movements have changed this country, right? Everyday ordinary people have changed this country. And if we don't understand that we have the capacity, the power, right, to demand otherwise, then we might as well close the coffin ourselves. If America is going to be different, if we're going to finally achieve our country, if we're going to finally get off this hamster wheel where people can exploit our hatreds and fears, we have to understand our power. And November 6th is just one day where we can do that. But every single day, we have to be decent, we have to be loving, we have to be caring, and we have to be willing to engage in a kind of self-critical reflection so that we can see the darkness in our own souls, so that we can be a hope and a light for others. If we don't do it, then it's a wrap.
Amen to that, Eddie Glaude. Thank you so much. It is not just about Tuesday. Every day we can be better.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.